Oh, what's up, everybody? I'm just playing. I don't have a tripod today, so I'm hand jobbing it. Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Down here at the Santa Ana River bottom, not really a river, obviously. So you can, yeah, but man, I'm out here today. Beautiful sunny day here in Orange County, California, and we got the leaf blower in the background there, kind of disturbing the peace, man. But anyways, I'm down here on I'd say about a 6-mile jog walk. I'm halfway through. That guy's been like blowing the same freaking spot for the last 10 minutes, it seems like. Golly. So anyways, we have another perfect weather day here. So that's allowing me to do what I'm doing right now. And I'm halfway done, like I just said. And I just wanted to chime in real quick here and, you know, let you guys know what's going on. And it's the usual, it seems like lately. Just focusing on me. It's all about me, it seems like, right? I guess. I mean, when you're in recovery, it kind of has to be about me. When I'm in recovery, it kind of has to be about me, because every day that goes by and I'm sober, clean and sober, it's a big deal to me, because you know, to be honest, this not easy, man, for a lot of people. This is what I've done is very difficult for some people, you know, including myself. You know, I don't want to be like preachy, but I'm just saying. Hang on a second. All right, I'm back. I had to rip one. Didn't want to do it on camera. Try not to cringe too much. So anyways, too late. Just kidding. So anyways, you know, I was watching some videos of a younger dude earlier, like, I don't know, he's probably in his late 20s or so, maybe early 30s. And like, he's battling with his whiskey addiction. And like, he was just describing like all the things that I described in my earlier videos, as far as like, you know, you get into like a routine of numbing yourself from what? That's the whole deal. What are you numbing yourself from? Is it just because it just feels good to get effed up? Kinda. For me, it kind of was. It kind of was like an escape from my brain, my mind, kind of. It's like, it's not like voices in your head. It's just like, I guess it's like feelings that you have, emotions. And like, I think, you know, it made me think like, okay, what were these emotions that I was kind of numbing myself from? And a lot of them were like kind of trauma stuff that I experienced in my life, you know, as a younger person. Some of the things I seen and I was around, that was kind of traumatizing, and just kind of like a long-term type, you know, depression type emotion that I've kind of always had off and on throughout my whole life. I think a lot of you that follow me on this channel, you know that I've had my ups and downs with depression. At times in the past, not recently, not in the last probably 10 years, I haven't been like really depressed, you know, just here and there, off and on, you know. And I did kind of figure out a method that helps me with when I do decide to let depression come over me, because that's kind of what it is, you know. And the point I'm trying to make is like, I was using alcohol as a vice to numb myself from those feelings of depression. Sorry. But yeah, man, like I was watching dude on his YouTube channel, younger dude, man, and I'm like thinking, you know what, he's hitting a lot of the points. And you know, he mentioned that like a lot of his drinking is just numbing himself from his depression, but he never really like stated what the depression kind of stems from. And I, you know, made me think about me and the depression I still occasionally have. I call it the funk. It's not severe depression, it's kind of mild, but enough to be annoying and slightly debilitating, you know, kind of, it almost disables you if you let it, you know. And you know, drinking kind of covers it up, but then at times, you know, it's like a double-edged sword. It can actually enhance your depression, you know. So you know, there's no like consistency with alcohol if you're using it to numb depression, because I mean really all you're doing is you're just numbing it. You're not like figuring it out, you know. You're not doing it on your own. And you know, that's the kind of thing that I kind of developed over the years. Is I got so depressed so often, not like super depressed, but just to, like I said, enough to kind of feel almost like debilitating, and like it just holds you back, you know. So like I got so tired of feeling that way, I just decided, like one day, I remember this like pretty clearly, man. Like I decided one day, look, I kind of know why I feel this way. I realize it's something that it's not just one thing, it's a lot of things that's happened to me in the past, reality of just my whole life. And you know, I'm not alone. There's not everybody's lives are perfect, and no, not everybody's lives are even close to their upbringings are perfect. A lot of people went through some shit their whole life, even when they was a kid and their mid, you know, teens and earlier years. A lot of people go through some shit, and it can get into your craw, man, and affect you long term, you know. But I got so tired of feeling that way. It was to a point, really. I got to a point where I felt so like just chronically depressed at like a lot of the times. I think like my mid 30s to I would say most of my 30s, I was the most depressed, like the most often. You wouldn't think so, because those are like the prime of your life, but those are some of the most depressing times. And I didn't quite figure out, I wasn't like old enough and there enough to kind of figure out why I was being like that. And just a lot of it was stuff that was out of my control, really, that just affected me throughout my life. But I remember like one day I was so tired of feeling that way. I was getting ready to say, like, I was to a point where I literally like felt invisible to people. And it was weird because this was going on in like pretty much my 30s. I remember I would go out and like, I know it was later I figured out it was just the vibe I was throwing off, right? Like this, I was always depressed and I felt like just everything sucked, right? Like I sucked, everything sucks, just blah blah blah, you know, it's all negative bullshit, right? And like I was throwing off this vibe, now that I think back, that just people probably can pick up on it, right? And like it was to the point where it's like I felt like I was invisible, and literally like people would just look, they didn't know that, they didn't see me. It's the weirdest thing, man. There's actually a name for it. If you Google when you feel like you're invisible to people, it's actually like it's a thing. And I swear I had it, and I swear like people just did not see me. I could be right there and they would talk to everybody but me, right? And I would literally talk to people sometimes, and it's like they didn't hear me at all. And I was like, this is weird. So that made it worse for me, right? And then like eventually I got so tired of that. One day I was just like, I noticed I got to a point where like I'd be having like a decent day, right? And all of a sudden it's like this tidal wave came over me, this dark tidal wave, right? And you could feel it. Like you could really feel like this dark cloud or this dark wave comes over you. And it's like, oh man, here it comes, right? The depression. And I got so sick of that, and it was becoming so often, I could literally feel it coming on, right? I could literally feel it coming over me, and I'm like, oh, it's like a chemical change in my body happened. And then I got to a point where I recognized it, right? And that's when I figured out on my own that I am going to rebuke this feeling. I'm going to just, when it comes over me and I can feel like my body chemistry change, I'm just going to shut it off. I'm not going to accept it. I'm just not going to accept it. I pictured a light switch in my head, and it said depressed and not depressed. And I would switch it to the not depressed, and I would just rebuke it at all costs, right? I'd rebuke those feelings. And that's when I started realizing, for me, I don't speak for anybody else, but it could work for other people, that depression kind of is a choice, especially when it's so often that you realize that you're slipping into it, right? So I'm to the point now where it's like when I get into my funk, I know I can just turn it off if I want to, and I know that, and it's true, it works for me. But the point I was trying to make is, and I'm kind of rambling here, but I wanted to get this off my chest because when I watch these guys, and they're using alcohol or drugs to numb themselves from, most of the time it's depression, most of the time they're literally using it just to not feel depressed. And that's what I kind of got into, and plus, you got to admit, when you got a nice buzz going, it feels good. It does. It's like you feel good. Like you're temporarily feeling good, but what happens? It's like liquid crack. You got to come down, right? You burn out, and you just like feel like crap. You get hungover, feel like crap, and then the hair of the dog kicks in. The only way you can feel better is to drink some more, and then you get this cycle going. And that's what this dude on this video was struggling with. This cycle he had going with whiskey. And I'm like thinking, man, this dude's got kids, a wife, job, and he's like a closet alcoholic, and he was like on this like routine, right? And I'm just thinking, man, this guy was just like me, man, just like me. And like, he just hasn't figured it out yet, because he's younger, dude, in his 30s. And he just hasn't figured it out yet. I mean, like, drinking, to me, that's not figuring it out. It's just temporary. It's a Band-Aid, okay? It's just a Band-Aid, if that's what you're using it for. I mean, some people can drink socially, no problem. It's not an issue. I wish I could have done that, but I couldn't. I'm a chronic alcoholic, okay, that cannot control my drinking, and because of whatever issues that I'm using it for, right? I got like over 19 and a half months. It'll be 20 months here real soon before I know it. But I was just watching that, and I left him a comment telling him to just hang in there, be strong. And he kept mentioning how he kept relapsing and stuff, and that's easy. That could be really easy to do, man. And you know, it happens to people, man. You just gotta pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and just keep trying, I guess. You know what I mean? But I just want to throw that out there because it made me reflect on my alcoholism and drug abuse. And like, you know, it's kind of the reason people do it. It's kind of all the same. I mean, the people that like abuse it, you know. But I envy people that can drink responsibly. I really do, man. Because I mean, it can have its benefits, especially in like social settings, man. It can really help. But you know, it's like 50-50 people that can control it, and the other part, it becomes a problem. And I was one of the people that it was a problem, you know. So that's all I got for this one, man. I just wanted to chime in a little bit on a recovery vlog here. I'm doing good. I plan on keeping going. I'm out here doing my thing, and I did lose a couple pounds recently, so I was happy about that when I jumped on the scale yesterday. So we're gonna keep going, and today's my Sunday. Happy Friday to everybody. I'm back to the grind tomorrow, and I kind of was feeling a little bummed a little earlier because like Sundays are kind of rough for me because it just the routine, you know, the hamster on the wheel. I know it sucks to hear it, like, but it's a major part of what's going on in my life right now. It's the routine of this whole thing. But like I said, I'm surviving. That's all that matters. And as long as I keep doing what I'm doing and keep my nose clean and keep trying to improve on myself, I don't see why things shouldn't get better slowly, at least. You know what I'm saying? At least health-wise and emotionally wise. So I'm kind of rambling now. I'm going to go ahead and hang it up. I do appreciate you all that are still, you know, hanging in there with me and watch my videos and listen to me ramble and rant. But like I said, I'm trying to keep my videos more on the positive side. I don't want to get into, you know, a lot of negative, toxic crap that just bleeds into everything lately, because there's a lot of it out there and it just gets on you real easy, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to participate in negative BS as much as I want to stay away from that as much as I can. But every once in a while, I gotta rant on it, you know, a little bit. So not this video though. So I do appreciate y'all. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up. I noticed nobody's hitting the thumbs up. What's up with that? Come on now, it's not that hard to do. It's harder for me to do that than it is for you to click on that little thumb. So I need the algorithm, brah. You know what I'm saying, bruh? So y'all have a fantastic day. Happy Friday. And we'll check you later. All right? See ya.